Yeah, Vidya, go ahead.
Jaykumarji, namaste. So this in verse 16, 15, the word Adyaha, it just means rich.
Yeah, yeah. Adhyaha means wealthy, one who possesses a lot in terms of wealth. Called Adhyaha. It may be used in other contexts also. It's possible. I have to look into the etymology.
Respected also.
Respected also is called Adhyaha. Yeah, when carefully used, can mean somebody who has a lot.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, Swapna, go ahead.
So, Asuri, these qualities that Krishna is highlighting, anybody can have it, right? So, is it, since we are studying uh, Vedanta, um, I don't know how to ask. I find this very judgmental in the sense, so we have to be careful not to fall into the trap of looking at this as a whole person, right? Um, End of the day, the- it's a guna, right? It is Atma and Anatma, right? This is Anatma, right? It is important to understand, it is important to recognize because, yes, we have Asuri Guna in us. Yeah, we need to work on it. We can see that in other human beings that we interact. But we have to be careful not to get carried away and see only this, correct?
Carried away and what? I missed that word.
See only this, the Asuri part.
Okay. True, of course, of course. I mean, from Arjuna's perspective, Asuri Sampath, he was surrounded by Asuri Sampath, people with Asuri Sampath. And after all this lecture, Krishna is going to say, therefore, go out and fight. That's what he's going to say. He doesn't say, go out and study more Shakrabhashyam and all. He doesn't say. He says, go and fight. And finally, after all this lecture, go and do your duty. Whatever is your duties. So, it looks like it's truly a lecture for Arjuna. There are such people also who can destroy the ecosystem. And dharma requires you to deal with such people. Find a way to deal with such people. That could be one message. And so we're not judging. We're not judging at all. Because the minute you judge somebody, see, generally judging doesn't resolve properly. It just remains as a judgment, and then nothing good comes out of it. But when you see something like this, ironically, the judges, ironically, I think they are the people who should not be judging. And because they don't judge, they become good judges. Something like that. So yeah, we don't, yeah, you're right. So this is part of the whole. This is part of the whole. And he's saying all this is possible. Anything is possible. Asuri Sampath is a barrier for Antarmukhatva. So from our perspective, we can recognize the Asuri Sampath. in us and in others also. There's also nothing wrong with that. We should know what's going on. Only we can, only if we are clean, we can see everything just like that. Just that pops up. So yeah, I think that's fine. What you said is okay. Yeah. So some of the examples, names and all I gave, I used names. So it feels like this judgment has been passed, etc. You can just take it as an example, and we just whenever you mention a name, then there is a risk that a judgment has been passed. And it's giving some names came to mind, and I hope I'm wrong about people.
No,
Whenever we
no,
talk,
clarification. Clarification. What you said, I didn't take it as judgment at all. I was thinking about my way of thinking, right? Meaning, one has to, you can get carried away and you start, so it is so important. Then that becomes a topic of conversation also among people, right? Where you talk about the Asuri part of people and it becomes a conversation, who is gaining what, right?
yeah. So
In our
sometimes,
day-to-day life.
sometimes talking about others
Yeah,
is a way to just escape ourselves. It's a way to
correct. Yes, yes.
feed
And, and,
our own
and yeah,
feelings and fears.
that is so true. Yeah. And I see that in among family members, and it is very unfortunate. The more you think of like, why are we talking about each other like this? It is, yeah, yeah. Becoming more and more aware of it. Yeah.
Correct. That's a good point. And then it becomes two people meet, it becomes like a fire. Both of them are talking, and both of them are talking about so many other people. It just goes on and on. Need to watch out.
One thing that I learned from Swamini Brahma Prajnananda when I attended her Saundarya Lahari class, 40 verses I think she covered. One thing that I learned is Om Devyai Namaha in every situation. And it is working so well for me, especially in these situations, right? When that urge is there to say something, somebody's talking negative, and you want to Om Devyai Namaha, Om Dev. Oh, it is so freeing. Oh my God. I wrote to her also. I said, I have learned this one thing and I'm using it and it is working for
Correct. Correct. Very good. Very good. Very good. We need that. We need that. We need that help periodically. We- Any other questions?
Guruji, oh sorry.
Yeah, Vaidya, go ahead.
Yeah, Jagmohanji, what I'm thinking also is, and you can tell me whether my thinking is correct or not. The reason Lord Krishna is describing this uh, is to sort of, for us, I mean, this is just my thinking. I want to ask you my question. The question is it because, Bhagwan wants us to examine whether we have these qualities, these asuri qualities, so that we can put an end to that, to make a change for ourselves. Um, rather than, pass a judgment on others, it is to help us recognize these negative qualities in ourselves. So that's my question.
Yes, of course. Of course. So, nobody is perfect. Nobody is perfect. So we all have various elements in us, and depending on the situations. certain aspects of us will kind of manifest, come out, and that, what is it called? Head will come out. So yeah, we have to keep remembering these things. That Devi Sampata and Asuri. So when somebody like Krishna tells us these things, then it becomes a reinforcement of what's right, what's wrong. And so when in doubt, previously I had a doubt and I didn't know what to do. Now I have a doubt and I know exactly what to do. Krishna said this, therefore there's no sense in me encouraging a particular idea like that. So it's for us only, right? Yeah, yes. Mira,
Guruji, I was just thinking this 16.15. I am rich of noble birth. All this replaced, it is more or less like good qualities when it is added with humility, right? Like Yoga Ruda also is born in a noble family, but he knows his purpose. So he's humble. And who is there equal to me? Jnani also thinks everything is, there's no, boundary. I mean, we are all the same.
No differences.
So with humility and jnanam, these all are more or less like Daivi qualities, like I shall perform yajnas. So he performs yajnas with humility. So this is some I being the Shatru here.
Yeah, correct. So humility, because a person who knows that I can be born in a poor family, or I can be born in a rich family. It's not in my hands really. And so some karma is working in my favor. If a person can think like that, then that person will automatically become humble, and that wealth will become a blessing for them and for others also. Yeah. So I am the cause of this thing, if I say, then that ahankara stops me from being objective. So you're right. Humility, absent humility, then only it is asarism. Just because somebody has wealth, that doesn't mean it's asarism.
Yeah. So I think this preceded by that shloka Pashyan Shunvan Jigran, then probably if you look at it in that angle, then all this you become very humble and you don't.
So question Shivan opposes jnana. Jnana. So naiva thinking karoni. So that is akatritva bhavaha, etc. But even without all that, just as a value, amanitvam, adambitvam, these are all values, right? Values meant for antakarana shuddhi, for leading a normal life, just for leading a life, fulfilling life. Without jnanam also, you need all these values.
Because it says here, he gives charity and he rejoices, that temporary feeling of happiness. And then it also says he's completely, because it's completely deluded by ignorance. So I was thinking like that, looking for that joy also, many people forget humility, right? They are looking for it, and he's saying it is followed by a lot of sorrows. So I was thinking, if the knowledge is there that there are so many people who are contributing to what I think I am doing, that is humility basically.
Correct.
Then there is no, basically these things become a quality. Wealth is plus point, you can actually use that for somebody else's, removing some kind of pain. If you think it is not earned by me, there are so many people who are contributing to my success. So I was thinking in those terms, like probably these qualities can be very good qualities if that I is taken care of.
Yeah, definitely. That's why religious life is is almost a necessity. Otherwise, you don't get these ideas. Now, that is not to say that people who are not religious are not nice people. No, that we can't say. Many people who come to religion afterwards. So, but in general, all people have this religion. When you're born, we are born into a religious culture. So, but community, you have all the devatas, everybody is there. So that's it. That's a balance. That's a good starting point. So we will stop with that. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Dhanvantaraye Amrita Kalasahastaya Sarvamaya Vinashanaya Trailokyanathaya Shri Mahavishnave Namaha.